Hi, everybody. This is Helena Hart. Welcome to my live stream on 6 things a man will say when he's falling in love with you. If this is your first time to my channel, don't forget to hit the button to subscribe so you don't miss any of my latest videos. And I'm just going to dive right in today. I wanted to start out by saying that none of these things I'm going to share here are definitive proof on their own that a man is falling in love with you. But if a guy is saying some of these things as you're getting to know each other, combined with the corresponding action, then it's a pretty big sign that he's serious about you and really falling for you. I'll talk more about what those actions are at the end of this video. And I'm also going to share what you'll be saying when a man deeply loves you at the end, because I've often found you have all the answers inside of you already in terms of your intuition and some of these things you may be saying to yourselves or others. But it can be easy to ignore red flags or miss some of those signs, especially if you have strong feelings for a man or you're really attracted to them or there's a lot of chemistry. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. The first thing a man will say when he's falling in love with you is, "I'd like to spend more time together." And of course, he follows that up with action by escalating his efforts and spending more and more time with you. This is really important. If there are obstacles preventing that, a man who's truly falling in love with you will figure out a solution. So when my husband and I were dating, when we just started dating, we lived about an hour away from each other and he had a really busy work schedule. It wasn't nearly as flexible as my schedule. And so he really sat down and figured out a way for us to spend more time together. So it's really important. A man who's really falling in love with you isn't going to make excuses or just tell you he's so busy. And the excuses can just be endless when a guy is not truly serious. But if a man's really falling for you, he's going to let you know that he would like to spend more time together and follow that up with action. So that's the first one. Number two is, "I miss you." And again, you want to watch the action. So if you haven't seen a guy in 5 or 6 months and he says, "Oh, I really miss you, I've been so busy," that doesn't count. He's saying, "I miss you," after you spend time together or when you're not actually together. And he follows that up by making another date with you or figuring out when the two of you can be together again in person. That one's really important too. That's kind of a precursor to "I love you." It's a really vulnerable thing to tell someone that you love them. So men will often say, "I miss you," first before taking that next step and telling you that he loves you or that he's in love with you. Number three is, "I'm not seeing anyone else." Now, a man might not necessarily say this at the very beginning when you just started dating, especially if you're in the early stages. So it's not necessarily a red flag if he doesn't say this right off the bat. But if you've been dating for a while, let's say 5 or 6 months, and if this gets brought up, he starts dodging the question or saying things like, "Oh, I'm just not ready for a relationship," you want to catch that right away. And that's a big sign he's not serious about you. But men will often let you know that they're not seeing anyone else because they want you all to themselves. I'd love to hear your experiences with this too. Let me know down below in the comment section. Is the man you're seeing saying any of these things? I always love hearing from you. So number three is, he'll let you know that he's not seeing anyone else. That's a big sign that he's serious about you and potentially falling in love. Number four is, "How can I help?" A man who's truly falling for you is going to want to be that person who helps you out when you're in a tough situation or you had a bad day. If you think about it, if just an acquaintance or someone you barely knew or didn't really have strong feelings for said something like they got a flat tire or they had a really bad day at work, you might say, "Oh, I'm really sorry to hear that." But if it's someone you truly love and care about, you might find yourself saying, "How can I help?" Right? And it's the same with men, even more so, especially if he's a masculine energy man. He's going to want to be your hero. Not that you're just this damsel in distress and it's his job to, save you or rescue you from your own life. But if you're sick, for example, or you just had a rough time at work or with a family member or something like that, a man who's truly falling for you is going to want to know what he can do to help you feel better. That one's really important. Number five is, "I'd love to go fill in the blank. I'd love to go to this place or this event with you sometime in the near or even distant future." So let's say it's February right now, and a guy says that there's this work event or concert or party or maybe a friend or family member's wedding in the summer or in September, or sometime later in the year, that's a sign that he's falling for you, because a man who's truly serious is going to want to kind of lock you down or make sure that he's in your life that far ahead in advance. Now, of course, like I said at the beginning of this video, that's not definitive proof. None of these things are definitive proof in and of themselves. But if he does that and then he goes ahead and books the hotel room or buys the concert tickets or something like that, that's a big sign that he's serious about you and maybe falling in love with you, if he wants to basically make sure that you're that person that he gets to take to this event. So has anyone ever experienced that? Let me know in the comment section. That's a big one. And that brings me to number 6. And this one is so important. And that is, how can we fix this? Or how can we work this out? This one's important for when you hit that first bump in the road. Maybe you have your first argument or misunderstanding. A guy who is not serious about you will just kind of like take that as an out, and he might just drop off or pull away after that. And women can get very panicked. I hear from women all the time who say, we had an argument, I haven't heard from him in 2 weeks. But, you know, some men might need a little space after an argument. They might take the rest of the day or 2 just to process things. But the man who's really falling in love with you and who's truly right for you is not going to drop out of your life like that. I promise, right? He's going to want to fix things. Write this in the comment section if this resonates with you. Someone who's truly committed in the face of an obstacle or something like that will search for a solution. And someone who's not serious about you will search for an escape. Basically, they'll take it as an out. I'm trying to think of a good analogy here. If you've ever had plans with a friend or an appointment or something, and maybe you weren't feeling well or you were tired and you just didn't really feel like going, and that friend calls you up, or the person who you had that appointment with texts you or something and says, oh, I'm really tired, I have to be at work early, or I have to work late tonight. If you're not truly excited about and invested in what those plans were, you might take that out right away and say like, oh, no big deal, let's reschedule, or something like that. Like, I'm a little tired too, we can just do that another time. That works out great. Versus if it's something you were really excited about and invested in, you might help find a solution. Like, if the car breaks down, like, I'll drive us, or let's go early to make sure we get home early so you can get enough sleep, or let's go later if you have to work late. You will look for a solution if you're really invested and excited about something, versus taking that out. And I hear from so many women who have hit that first bump in the road with a man, or this could happen over and over, and the man just uses that as an escape. And I would say he's doing you a big favor, because he wasn't truly for you from the beginning. The man who's truly right for you and who's falling in love with you isn't going to let something small like that jeopardize his opportunity to be with you. So that one's really important. So those are the 6 things I wanted to share today. And some of the actions a man will take when he's falling in love, these are so important to look for. That could be him escalating his efforts, basically. So if you've been dating a guy for 6, 7, 8+ months and you're only seeing him a couple times a month and it's not moving beyond that, especially if he's not saying some of these other things that I just shared, that's a clue that he's not that serious about you, unless there's some extenuating circumstance like you're long distance and you have concrete plans for when the 2 of you are going to be together in person in the future. So he's escalating his efforts. He's increasing the amount of contact. Like, you'll start hearing from him just about every day or every other day, something like that. He follows through on what he says he's going to do. You can trust him that if he says he's going to call, he does. He picks you up on time. He follows through. He's reliable and dependable. And basically, he doesn't do anything that's going to jeopardize his opportunity to be with you. He wants to keep getting to know you. Conversations are going deeper. He wants to know who you are as a person. And it goes beyond that surface level that you might find in the first couple dates with new people. He wants to go beyond that and take things to a deeper level. And he's showing you with his actions, not just his words, that he's serious about you. And that brings me to what you'll be saying when a man deeply loves you. And that is simply that it's easy. It's really easy with the right person who's truly into you. if you're saying things like, I'm so confused, or why do women have to do all the work? Why do I have to do all the work? I promise you, you will not be saying that with the right person. That won't even be in your consciousness at all. When I catch women saying some of these things, it's just a big clue that they're not with the right person. They're likely watching these videos on YouTube because they're trying to make a guy who's not stepping up feel a certain way about her, or make him chase her more, when he's not really showing up and choosing her all on his own. You want a man who's falling for you and choosing you and showing you with his actions and his words that he's interested all on his own, without all this prompting and trying to apply tactics on your end. So with the right person, you'll be saying it's easy. You won't be saying, why is dating so exhausting? Why are all these terrible men out there on the dating apps? You just won't be saying that when you're with the right person. So that's what I wanted to share today. I hope this was helpful, and thank you so much for being here with me. I wanted to get to some questions and comments. I'm so happy to be live with everybody. So let's see. LG says, the man I'm dating has said he misses me, wants to spend more time with me. And that's what I'm here for, when he helped me through a rough patch. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about here. Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. Let's say Lauren says, one time I was seeing a man for years who didn't come over because it was raining really hard. Yeah, again, a man will take those excuses. Now, if he has a great track record and he's been really reliable and showing up consistently for years, something happens and he's just really tired one day or not feeling well. If he has that track record with you, you can go ahead and give him the benefit of the doubt. But if a man is just taking any excuse he can to not see you, that's something to pay attention to. So let's see. That's a really interesting video. I didn't notice those before. Thank you so much. And I think that's all the questions I see. And I really wanted everyone to follow my podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. It's called Master Your Magnetism. That's where I'm spending really all of my time these days. I'm not coming on here on YouTube very much anymore at all. I'm kind of winding down my time on YouTube and spending all my time over there. And it's just been so much fun. Really good use of my time and energy these days, especially now with a new baby, right? So it's called Master Your Magnetism with Helena Hart. I have links in the description or episode details. Just click the title of this video. It'll open up the description and you can go check it out. Totally free. I actually go live over there every other week. You can call in and talk to me personally. Type your questions in the chat, 100% free. You're going to love it. So thank you so much. Yes, I love your podcast. I'm so happy. I absolutely love my community over there. So let's see. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Thank you so much. Let's see. Anita says, great advice. I'll remember all 6. Thank you. You're very welcome. And last question I see, can a man like you but didn't message you or quiet when you go for holidays overseas? It's possible. It would be helpful to know more about the situation. That's kind of like an isolated incident. Like, is he saying some of these other things? Is he escalating his efforts? How long were you gone for? If you were there for a month and you didn't hear from him at all, that's a pretty big red flag, right? But if you were just there for a few days and, I don't know, maybe he was busy or something. Really, this in and of itself is not as important as the overarching dynamic of, is his energy coming towards you consistently? Is he showing you with his actions, not just his words, that he's serious about you and ready to move things forward? That's what I'd be paying attention to, not these little things here and there. So hope that was helpful. You're very welcome, everyone. I just had a few minutes today, so I wanted to come on and connect with everybody here. Thank you so much for joining me live. I had a blast connecting with everybody. Don't forget to follow my podcast, Master Your Magnetism. If you want to stay connected with me and what I'm doing and just get access to all my new content, totally free for everybody. So I love you all. Have a great rest of the week, and I'll talk to you soon.